I'm a total Hedgehog fan, much like everyone else. I like newer games, but I don't mind playing the classic. I don't think I played, if ever played, glitchy or hacked games. I before, so if I don't think I want to play after the experience I had. It started on a nice summer afternoon. I was playing Sonic Unleashed. I liked how you get to explore the towns in it. Until I noticed, out of my peripheral vision, that the mailman had arrived and put out something in my mailbox. As usual, it left. I paused my game and go see what I got in the mail. The only thing in the mailbox was a CD case for computers. I took it inside. I looked at the note first. This was from my dear friend Kyle. Let's just call him that. Who if I ever heard from in 2 weeks. I know that because I recognized his handwriting. So if it was weird how it looked, but it looked badly written, it's scratchy and somewhat difficult to read. As if Kyle was having a hard time writing down it in a hurry. This is what he wrote. Tom, I can't take it anymore. I had to get rid of it to say somehow before it was too late, and I hoping you'd do it for me. I can't do it. He's after me. If you don't have to do the CD, he'll come after you too. He's too fast for me. Please, Tom, destroy this god-forsaken disc before he comes after you too. It's too late for me. Destroy this disc, and you destroy him. But do it quick, otherwise he'll catch you. Don't even play the game. It's what he wants. Just destroy it, please, Kyle. Well, that was certainly weird. Kyle is my best friend, and I haven't seen him in 2 weeks. I did do what he asked me. I didn't think that a simple gaming disc would do anything bad to him. After I saw this game, right? Boy, was I wrong about that? Anyway, I looked at the disc, and it looks like any ordinary computer CD disc, except it looked black. Except it had a black mark on it within Sonic EXE, and it must sound like Kylo's handwriting. Meaning it must have gotten it from somewhere else, like a pawn shop or eBay. When I saw Sonic the CD, I was really excited. I wanted to play the same time a big Hedgehog fan. I went out to my room and turned on my computer and started the game. When the title screen popped up, I noticed it was the first Sonic game. I was like, awesome, because I said I like the classic person, and noticed that was out of place when I pressed start. In a split second, I saw the title. Image turned into something different, something that I now consider horrifying before cutting to black. I remember what the image looked like in that split second before the game cut to black. The sky had darkened. The title emblem was lost in a movement. The Sega 1991 was now instead Sega 66. And the water had turned red like blood, except it looked happy realistic. But the freakiest stain that was in that split second was Sonic. His eyes were pissed back and bleeding with two glowing red dots staring right at me. And this style, this smile stressed right up to the edge of his face. I was rather disturbed about the image. When I saw it, I figured out it was just a glitch and forgot about it. After I caught the black, I stayed like that for 10 seconds. Then a weird thing happened. The save file select from Sonic the Hedgehog 3 popped up. I was like, what is this doing in the first Sonic game? Anyway, then I noticed something off. The background was the dark, cloudy sky of the bad Stardust Speedway from level from Sonic City. There were only 3 files. The music was creepy, Caverns of winter music forever found it. Only was extended and seemed to have been reversed in file. You see a preview of it just on just was static for all 3 files. What freaked me out more was the characters let it showed only Knuckles into my surprise. Dr. Robotnik. Now? So that's nothing but up. I mean, how can you play as Robotnik in a classic Sonic game for crying out loud? That's when I realized this was a crazy game. It's a hacked game. Yeah, it definitely looked hacked. It was really creepy, but as a smart gamer, I wasn't scared. For that, at least I tried not to be. I told myself it was just a hacked game. There's nothing wrong with that. Anyways, taking off the creeped out feeling, I picked Fire One and chose Tails. Then when I selected and got started, the game froze for about 5 seconds and I had a creepy picture. I sounded awful lot like that careful guy from Final Fantasy before cutting to black. The screen stayed about 10 seconds or more. Then it showed the typical title thing, except the simplistic shapes were different shades of red. Technically, so it only held Act 1. The screen faded in and the level title, but as reviewing Tales of the Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1, the music was different. It sounded like a peaceful, what we first. Anyway, I started playing, and Tails, and as Tails started running, like you would in any of the classic Sonic games. And what was that Tails was running all along the level. There was nothing but black ground and a few trees. For 5 minutes, where was then the peaceful music started to go down into slow deep tones very slowly. As I kept going, suddenly I saw something and stopped to see what it was. It was someone small and it was lying dead and on the ground, bleeding. That was when the music started to slow down. Tails, shocked and saddened, looked on his face that I never saw him have before, so I had him move along. And he kept that worried look on his face. As he kept going, I saw more dead animals as Tails moved past them, looking more and more worried as the music lowers. And he moves past more dead animals. I was shocked to see how they all died. It looked like somebody killed them in rather gruesome ways. A squirrel hands was there. But I had all four stuff. I felt sick in my stomach. I saw this massacre. But so did Tails. After a few seconds, there's no more dead animals. Music seemed to have stopped, and I kept Tails to continue. After a minute passed, after the music stopped, Tails was running up a hill when then he stopped. It wasn't until I saw why Sonic was there on the other side of the screen. With his back in his Tails, with his eyes closed, Tails looked happy to see Sonic, but then his smile flattered. Obviously noticing that Sonic was at least spotted him, if not acting if he was totally opposite to Tails' persons. Tails walked slowly towards Sonic. Then I noticed that I wasn't even moving my keyboard to make a move. So this had to be a cutscene. As Tails walked closer to Sonic to get his attention, I felt that Tails was in danger and something bad was going to happen. I felt afraid to Sonic. Well together. As Tails was put into the way from Sonic and stopped and struck his head out to touch him. That forbidding feeling in my gut was growing stronger, but it was to tell Tails to get away from Sonic as the static grew louder. Suddenly, in a split second, Sonic's eyes open. And it's black with the square dogs. Just like that. That's how the weapon is on. And that happened, the screen turned black and the static sound was off. It stayed black for about 7 seconds. Then the water text appeared, forming a message saying,
"Hello. Do you want to play with me?"
At this point, I was creeped out and I didn't want to continue the game. But my curiosity got the better of me. When I was taken to a different level with a level title saying hide and seek. This time I was an Angel Island level. From Sonic 3 it did look like everything was on fire. Tails looked as though he was scared of us with his life. Yes, he looked at me, made further catches me. As he wanted to get out there, he was in fast as possible. I was starting to get freaked out by this. Tails was as a break the fourth wall trying me to get him out of here. So I pressed down on the arrow key. I saw that I made him fast as he could. Apex the first of that creepy theme. If you messed out again, AR Cats Robotic from SA2. Was playing as a made Tails track through the Detroit forest, trying to help him escape from whenever he was 21. Suddenly I heard that creepy laugh again, that awful laugh. I don't know, 10 seconds have passed. As I helped Tails run through the forest, then I started seeing flashes of Sonic popping everywhere from the screen. Again with those black and red eyes. The music changed to that special drowning jingle as I see Sonic behind Tails slowly getting up on him, flying. Sonic wasn't flying, he was actually flying. The flying pose his sprite was making looked famous to Metal Sonic's flying pose in Sonic City, except it was the Sonic, and yet those the black and red eyes again. Only this time he had the most annoying Loki grin on his face as he looked through. He was enjoying the torment as he was giving the poor little fox as he gained up on him. Suddenly when Tails tripped in other cutscenes the music stopped and Sonic vanished. Tails lay there and started crying for 15 seconds. The scene was rather upsetting to us, and I kind of cheered myself up. But then Sonic appeared in front of Tails, and Tails looked up in horror. Blood started to come down with his blackened eyes, Sonic as he grinned. So he grew from his face. I looked down at the horrified fox. I could do nothing but watch. In a split second, Sonic glanced at Tails. Before the screen went to black, there was that loud, squeezy noise that only lasted 5 seconds. The text returned, only this time it said,
"You're too slow. Want to try again?"
And then that got all over it. I was so shocked by what had happened. Did Sonic murder Tails? No, he shouldn't have. He and Tails were supposed to be best friends, right? Why did Sonic do that to him? I shook the sock off as I brought back to the character select. The save file that I had Tails was different. Tails was no longer the box itself, but the TV person itself, which was filled with that red static. Tails' impression scared me. His eyes were black and bleeding. His hair had gone black, and I had the impression of anguish on his face, so I didn't know it. I picked Knuckles next. The laugh came again, and the screen cut to black again, and stayed there for another 10 seconds. Because this level said, "You can't run." I was really freaked out by now. I couldn't really tell if this was a glitch or a hack, or some kind of hack, or some kind of sick joke, or nothing really. Despite my fear of what happened next, I kept playing. The next level looked much different. It had the ground of scrap brain cell, and the sky background looked like the main menu. It had a dark, reddish, cloudy sky, but it was music that creeped me out. It sounded like it was screaming right after you beat Pocky and Earthbound. I also noticed that Knuckles looked afraid, just like Tails did, but not as much. More rougher, he looked a little unnerved. He broke the fourth wall just like Tails. He wasn't sure what was going on, but it made him move anyway. He went down the pathway at this dark level. As he did, the screen started to flicker. It was static a couple times. Then a maddening laugh came again. Then after a few seconds of running, I noticed several bloodstains on the mechanic ground. I felt a growing sense of fear again. I kept thinking something horrible is going on to Knuckles. It looked like just walking down this blood-stained road, but it kept him going. As suddenly as Knuckles ran, Sonic appeared in front of him with those black and red eyes. Then red static appeared again. Then the static vanished, only showing nothing but black screen with text saying,
Found you.
I was now scared. Sonic found Knuckles already? What is going on? Anyway, red static came again. Then I was back to the level. Knuckles looked like he was panicking. Sonic was nowhere to be found. This time, high-pitched scream from Silent Hill once Final Boss was playing. What was this of boss battle with Sonic? I hoped to God it wasn't. Honestly. Suddenly, Sonic appeared right behind Knuckles, but it began pixelated black smoke and made Knuckles turn, then punch Sonic, but Sonic vanished in black smoke before I hit that terrible laugh right off again. Then Sonic appeared behind Knuckles again and made him punch again. Sonic vanished again, laughing. Knuckles was panicking even more. It felt like I was going crazy. Sonic was practically playing with us. He was playing a sick, twisted little mind game with me and Knuckles. Another cutscene played as Knuckles fell to his knees and clutched his head, sobbing. I felt his agony. Sonic was driving us both crazy. Then, in a split second, the screen went black with another distorted squeezing noise that lasted for the last 3 seconds.
You will die at my hands.
Another text message appeared.
Souls to play with, so little time. Will you
What the hell was going on? I thought Sonic was trying to talk to me through the game, but I was too scared to think that. I was brought back to the main menu. At this time, second file box had Knuckles at the TV screen. His Swiftfoot had darkened to reddish gray. His dreadlocks were tripping red with blood, and his eyes were black and bleedy too. And he had the look of sadness in his face and began to think that those were actual characters trapped into those TV screens in the safe house. I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. Shut off the game and took a break. I took a nap. I wish I didn't, cause I then began to have the most disturbing nightmare. I was in a black darkness. I was under the light of by a lamp that hung high above my head. I could hear the cries of Knuckles and Tails nearby. They were saying stuff like, help, why do there's guys right as I then heard Sonic laugh. His laugh sounded like The distorted Calva laugh.
You were not kid. That's like a fun Kyle. It didn't last long.
I was scared and looking around for the source of the voice. I saw him walking toward me, flickering in and out in several directions.
You didn't want to get on my will now, just like the others.
When he grabbed me, and I saw his bleeding black and red-eyed, grinning face, I woke up with a fright. After a couple of hours, I decided to continue playing the game. I don't know why, but I had to know. I had to figure out why this was happening. So I turned on the computer and started on the game and selected robotic set next. I still thought it was wacky, played as robotic. But anyway, the level title played again, and this time it said ... which I found really freaky. This time I was in some kind of hallway. It didn't really look like it. It was from any of the classic Sonic games too. It was the pixel style. The floor was sunny and the walls were dark gray as purple with animated headlights and a few bloodstains here and there. There was a dark resident hanging above the top part of the screen. Every 12 seconds or so that red curtain raised very slowly, but whenever you're playing the game, you barely see it move. The music was oddly pleasant. A piano played a rather sad yet peaceful sound, but I knew better. This was the song it played in Hill at one early. It was in reverse. Robotnik did look entirely nervous, just like the Tails and Knuckles, but he had the suspicious look on his face, as if he was just a bit paranoid. He did a little animation when I left him standing. He turned his head to the left, then to the right, at least twice. Then he shrugs at me, as if he has no idea where he was. I was going to I was scared in my mind what was gonna happen. I had Robotnik continue onward. He did his usual running animation. You know, when you beat him as a classic game, as a classic Sonic game, and you chase him as we continue going through the hallway. Then I stopped at the long flight upstairs. You think I was I was nervous. If Robotnik seemed unsure of himself, to if I pressed onward. As I led the robotic downstairs, I tried to go back with robotic, but he just fell on this always fell on the stairs. I noticed that the walls have gotten darker and more reddish. The red torches were now in eerie blue. Then we led it on to another hallway. This one was longer than the last one, or at least it felt like it. Then we headed down in a flight of stairs down. This one was much longer. It took at least 1 full minute. And then I heard that horrid Kefka laugh again. Let the music slowly fade until it was quiet, as did the walls turned more dark red, and the torches were black flame now. When the Robotnik landed to the third hallway, I noticed this. Now he looked really creeped out. 2 feet tried to hide it. I could blame him. I was scared too. Suddenly, Sonic popped up in front of Robotnik. The same way he did Knuckles. Then went static. When static lasted for about 50 seconds. Then it showed me a most unpleasant The image showed a happy realistic of Sonic standing in the darkness, where you can only see his face while his head and torso faded into black. And when I say happy realistic, I mean he looked So you can actually see the lines in this blooper as if you confuse the girl if you touch the screen. His face. Oh God. Yeah, the most horrifying smile I had ever seen. And saying something physically. I saw the image at the start of the game. His eyes were wide and black once again, white blood, with actually like type of his. There were two small glowing red dots in those black eyes staring at me, as if staring into my mind. His grin was wide and demonic. It reflects the sides of his face like a crazy cat, except on a cat face. Very soft face, much like the werewolf's teeth, except more vicious looking. Somewhat yellow to the look. He had stains of blood and small bits of flesh and on his lips and face. I stared at the gruesome image for good 30 seconds, never taken my eyes off it. I felt if he was looking at me, smiling that face. It just took seconds for it to etch itself into my brain for good. Santa screamed flicker with red start again 3 times, and on the third time I heard the Calfa laugh, except this time a sound, distorted, demonic even. It went black to image, except this time it was text again. It was messed up. It was pretty. One of the most horrifying things I had this game. I am God. It was when I read that image by looking at Sonic. When it hit me, I realized right there and then that Sonic is a monster, a pure Sonic, all powerful, numerous demented monsters and horse systems, including Tails, Knuckles, Robotnik, and possibly Kyle. With us, his little toys, and the game is the very gateway to his chaotic, nightmareous world, and the very hell his victims are trapped in. Starting in a split second, I screamed as Sonic lunged at the screen, squeezing loudly with his mouth wide open to an hour and a half length, leaving nothing but a totally spiraling abyss of pure darkness. Before the red started came again, this time much louder and disordered. It's so loud it hurt my ears. I yelled and grabbed my ears, and as the red static squeezed for good. A good 10 seconds. Then it stopped, and showed nothing but a black screen. I sat there staring at the black screen. One last text came up. The careful laugh, now sounding more clear as if Sonic was right behind me, played again 3 times as I looked at the text and saw in confusion. Then I booted back to the main menu. This time, the third save file had the TV image of for Robotnik in the same tormented state of as Tails and Knuckles. Knuckles came to the door, his mustache swooped and had blackened. His glasses broke, and his glasses broke, and blood is coming out from them, and he had a mirror that like a present on his face. I looked at Tails, Knuckles, and Robotnik, and I cried a bit, petrified them for the agony they're going through. They are forever trapped within the game, forever tormented by that horror hedgehog. Will always be the computer shut itself off. I could have turned it back no matter what I did. I sat there for maybe 25 seconds of what had just happened. Sonic is a very important of evil. He tortures people. He plays his game in more ways. Then one of them, he gets bored. He tracks you the game. He's really tracks yourself where he can play with you as his toy. I can't get the game out of my computer. I think it's stuck in there, but at least I managed to turn it back on. Now, I sat there for 25 seconds and every voice right by me like a whisper.
This is interesting for me, Tom.
I turned around to see where the voice came from, and what I saw made me scream, sitting in my bed, staring right at me. Was it Sonic Blussy, smiling with blood stains under its eyes.